This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Jahkur charged after stabbing event promoter in Amsterdam. Reggae singer Jahkur was reportedly arrested and charged with assault and wounding over the weekend after a violent confrontation with an Amsterdam event promoter. Jahkur, who was in the Netherlands as part of his ongoing European tour, allegedly stabbed the Roots Vibes promotion head in the abdomen. Details surrounding the cause of the incident are unclear. However, the victim underwent surgery and was hospitalized. Jahkur, whose birth name is Sikaturi Alcock, has had numerous run-ins with the law, including his 1998 rape conviction. After serving an 8-year sentence, he released the 2015 album The Cure, which earned him a Grammy Award nomination for Best Reggae Album. Cornwall Regional Hospital still operating above bed capacity. Despite a decline in COVID-19 cases in Jamaica, the Cornwall Regional Hospital says it continues to operate above its bed capacity due to a high number of patients with the virus. Dr. Delroy Frey, clinical coordinator for the Western Regional Health Authority, says the hospital has to find additional space to house the patients.
We are over capacity in what we prepare for them, and I'll tell you what we have. We have a Block C, which is a 29-bed area that is designed for COVID-19 patients. Equipped, everything, nice, comfortable area. We have a container area, which is fully AC, which is like an ICU area for COVID-19 patients. So we could comfortably house 32 patients with COVID. I can't remember how long ago we have had 32 patients. I mean, 2-3 weeks ago when we had this surge, we were looking at 120 patients. So we had to repurpose wards that are used for ordinary patients in order to accommodate those COVID patients. Yesterday, when I look at the figures, we had 43 positive cases and some were waiting results. So you can see that the numbers are going down. But as you can see, every day you look at what you have to do and you have to readjust in order to deal with the situation.
Gregory Park squatters hope for permanent status, call for an end to board and zinc dwellings and the lack of utilities. While some sections of Gregory Park in Portmore St. Catherine catch the eye because of the pristine homes with manicured lawns, there are other sections where the residents are not so well off. Take, for example, areas such as Portmore Villa, more commonly known as Gulf, where the left side of the road looks uptown while the right side showcases the opposite. Sitting in front of her board house on a dirt track, Pam says she has been waiting for the day when the government will sell her the section of land on which her family is squatting. Father knows me want tear down my zinc and put up a proper house. Here so me born and grow, and me a 60, and all we get a promises, say them a go sell we, she said. The zinc fence is being held up by pieces of board and the low-hanging cords that are used as illegal electricity connections for the informal settlements are the raw reality of the residents. Member of Parliament for St. Catherine East Central, Orlando Terrelong, last week told Parliament that he feels uncomfortable that the residents are living in structures that scarcely qualify as housing, noting that basic amenities such as running water or electricity are lacking. John, who says he has been squatting for 20 years, says he is not keeping his fingers crossed that he will have a proper address soon. Right now, no for we not have any fixed address. So we have to collect mail through post office, or sometimes the people will kind enough to make you use them address when you do business. Not even loan or them thing they can't take out. You have 1 or 2 people over on the squatter side where have legal light, but of course for most of the people a bare bandolo things run the place, he said. The living conditions were quite similar in another section known as Mexico. A resident told the news that he wants his 2 children to have a better life, but moving away is not an option, as it is the only place he has to call home. Of course, me would want to pay a light and water bill and official up the thing. We no rich, but me would buy the piece where me live on and buy me block them by the 100. Me have 2 daughters and right now a water and tiffin light I do it. And me no want them grow up with the same mentality. Would want them to have a nice veranda to sit on and them things there, he said. A woman adds that one of her biggest dreams is to see a skills training center being erected for the unattached youths. It's a big scheme this, and not even a little football field. If the youths them can't get to work or go back to school, them a go gravitate towards the old iron because of that them a see instead of school, she said. Residents also lamented about a flare-up in violence that has been occurring for about 3 months. Vibes are going in at the place, and more time at the soldiers and police them who patrol make it no worse. Me say the police them a try call peace meeting, and me know them a try, but honestly, them can't stop the war. And the gangster them alone can't stop it, and until then, things now go stop broke loose, a woman said. Downtown Kingston redevelopment is still underway, says TCPA. The Town and the Country Planning Authority is rubbishing suggestions that the redevelopment of downtown Kingston has halted. Christopher Wimes Stone, the deputy chairman of the authority, says the process has been ongoing, albeit slowly. He says projects are being continuously approved. The news reported that a coalition of deep-pocketed investors has pulled out of a multi-billion-dollar commercial project that was targeted as the axis of the redevelopment of downtown Kingston. Glenn Christian, chairman of an investment task force dubbed the Shoreline Group, complained that after 9 years, a lack of political will and an absence of synergy with the government agencies had frustrated efforts to get the project off the ground. But Mr. Wimes Stone said there are other challenges hindering the redevelopment plans, such as the physical infrastructure.
I'm both talking about what you see above ground in terms of the buildings and so forth, but also the stuff underground, like the sewage networks and things like that. They're old and need to be replaced so that development can happen easier. In terms of the social equity of the people, the ability of, or economic power or the lack thereof, and the government's fiscal space or the lack thereof, there is a real challenge to let things happen, for things to happen quickly, because there is a large percentage of the population lives in the downtown core, and a large percentage of the financially challenged people live in the downtown core. So these are the constraints that make development not impossible. I mean, it happens all over the world, but difficult, and more difficult in a country like Jamaica,
Facebook apps coming back online after hours-long outage. Facebook and its apps appear to be coming back online after a huge outage. Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and the main Facebook app had all been offline for more than 6 hours in one of the biggest technical failures in the company's history. The social media services went down at the same time on Monday, taking out a vital communication platform used by more than 3 billion people around the world and adding heat to a company already under intense scrutiny. According to international media reports, Facebook's problems appeared to be related to the domain name system, or DNS. That is often referred to as the phone book of the internet, taking the URL a person types into their browser, such as facebook.com, and turning it into a numerical address that can then be asked for the data that makes up the website being accessed. The company runs its own DNS, unlike many other smaller firms. As such, it is at liberty to make changes itself and to remove those records too, which was what seemed to have happened at some point on Monday. Jamaican IT specialist Chris Record told the news that the outage had varying implications for the Jamaican population, with it being a minor inconvenience for some, while a major challenge to others, especially those who use the platforms for business.
Some people, it's a minor humbug. This thing is bothering me. This is how I normally send jokes to my friends and family. So it's really and truly just a little humbug, a bother. To others, however, who use it for business, it's a major issue. This is how they sell their product. This is how they reach out to their customers. To them, it's a major challenge. And I noticed the activity around Signal and Telegram over the past few hours. Just a cursory, peep at it, I realized that, wow, the downloads have increased, especially in our region, And of course, the amount of people in Jamaica that have jumped onto those two platforms over the last couple of hours have increased also. So there are other options, and remember, we can still pick up the phone and call people, right? And so, that's also there.
Michael Leckie, president of the Small Business Association of Jamaica, said the WhatsApp outage was very difficult for scores of business operators who use it to get orders for their products as well as to communicate.
So we're getting calls to the association inundated, and what is happening is that it's one of the medium by which a number of our members have gotten their orders and so on and communicate. So with that, it has been very, very difficult, and I don't know what is happening, and we really want to find out what's going on.
An internet watchdog, NetBlocks, has calculated a rough estimate that the global economy lost US $160 million hourly in revenue because of the Facebook, Instagram Messenger, and WhatsApp outage. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg's personal wealth also fell by US $6 billion in a few hours, knocking him down a notch on the list of the world's richest people. He has now dropped below Bill Gates to a number 5 on the rich list. His net worth is US $120.9 billion. Squid Game is Netflix's top show in more than 90 countries. Netflix has secured a global hit with the drama series Squid Game, occupying the number 1 spot in home country Korea, the United States, and the 90 other countries around the world. The feat follows a streaming service's decision to focus on global content rather than select locations. Squid Game is on track to become the biggest show in Netflix's history in any language, beating out favorites Bridgerton and Lupin. The popularity of the series has resulted in internet connectivity problems in South Korea. One of the country's chief internet service providers, SK Broadband, is suing Netflix because of the added strain Squid Game has put on its service, increasing cost of network traffic and maintenance. Based on the season's cliffhanger, fans have been calling for a season 2. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.